Danny Williams or Scott Welsh?
Oh, definitely. First fight with Danny Williams, because it was for me winning the British title outright. So winning that fight, and against Danny, because I was such an underdog with that fight. Um, I, I think it was satisfying. It was really satisfying because winning the British title outright and doing something that everybody said I could never do. You know, even beating Pellegrini. Pellegrini at the time was the known puncher, the knockout. I stopped him for 2 rounds, then going on to beat Danny over 12 rounds. And that was, I still sometimes go back and look at that fight. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and just going over, especially sometimes I'm looking at myself how slim I was.
Hey, when you get back into camp, man, it will come back. You know?
Wow. I don't know about it.
All right. So a question from Iron Fist. Champ, which one of your opponents would you say was the most skilled?
Obviously, we're going to say Tyson, because Tyson was out there, obviously. Fortunately for me, I was able to fight one of the best heavyweights in the last 150 years in Mike Tyson. Danny Williams is a great skillful fighter. I started and worked with an enormous amount of guys over the years. I've been boxing. A guy like Julius, who was European champion, was kind of hard that he Leonard alluded to. Danny Williams was a great. Danny Williams very, very technical. Very technical. Oh God, over the years. Yeah, to name him, but yeah, obviously Tyson, because everybody knew how good, how technical he was. Everybody seemed to focus on with Tyson that he was a pure puncher. He had great skill. You all know about these absolutely fantastic football. To be able to elude, move into positions, punch and punch, be in positions where he could hit and not be hit, and that was great. You know.
What's it like when you have to make that long ring walk to meet Mike Tyson in the ring? What's the feeling like?
You know what? Look, all that whole period, that whole time, people have to know that all the period of Tyson, going to. People have to realize that if you watch the fight and watch the ring wall and everything that was going on around it, for me, it was my time. You have to understand. When I stood up on, before I actually got to the ring, stood up on the ring apron, and I looked around, and it was the MBN. And I'm saying to myself, I don't care that these people come to like a lot of them might be fans. But these people are here to see me. This is my side. I'm fighting. It wasn't London, it was my hometown, but I'm fighting England. And these people, regardless if they like me or not, they thought I was a good boxer. It was my time. So that was it for me.
Are there any changes that you'd make to your old training regime that would have maybe made your career last longer?
I don't know about making my career last longer, because I had a 14, I think I had a 14-year pro career anyway. Plus, my amateur boxing and my kickboxing, and then I did a little bit of MMA. So I was fighting. I've been fighting for a long time. I was actually a long time, roughly 30 years nearly as a fighter. A long time. Amateur boxing. Well, I did the unlicensed kickboxing. I was a kickboxing champion, and then I was a professional boxer and a boxing champion. So yeah, and because I came into professional boxing, that's that I would say, oh, the video is going to last longer than it did. I came into pro boxing late, and I did what I did. So I'm very happy. I say I'm very happy. Now, looking back, I set myself to become British champion. I think maybe if I'd set myself to become world champion, and if I failed at that, then I set the bar and I achieved everything that I set out to do, everything that I set out to do in boxing. So I've got nothing to be of or be worried about. I said, champion, I became only the fourth world champion to win a Lonsdale. That in itself was a fantastic achievement. Against all the odds. So yeah,
a boy from Brixton.
Why there's all these new things that come out, kettlebells and
calisthenics,
your cardiovascular system, and different work, different training regimes for muscle and other. When I see those things, I think, well, I would have liked to be able to try them when I was fighting.
Interesting. Bruce Lee. I don't think it's the real Bruce Lee, but he wants to ask, didn't you fight Big Bad James Oyabola?
I did fight James. Yeah. What rest his soul. That's a really good one. The story with James and myself, I used to work before boxing. I used to work on a dock. I always working on whatever. Anyway, I was working I think it was in Leicester Square, and I was on the door, turned around to look at something that my move was going on, this issue or something. I turned around to face the door, to face outside, and I'm standing looking at the chest. And I look up, and there's this giant thing in front of me. And he kind of looked down at me with his big, deep voice, and he said, well, I'm a friend of the owner, right? So I'd already stuck my hand out to stop whoever it was. I didn't know it was. And I've looked at him, Jesus. And then, so he came in the club. He was a fantastic guy. And then years later, when I became a pro, James walked into the gym. I was training at the Thomas and Beckett. And Dean Powell, he was training again. So James came into the gym. Dean Powell says to me, there's your new sparring partner, James Oyabola. And James at the time, he was the biggest heavyweight in Britain at the time. James was 6'9" and a lump. He was very good, in good shape, massive. I looked at him and said, there's no way that I'm going to spar this guy. And then obviously a few years later, you go your different levels. And then I think I was Southern Area champion. And it was a defense, Southern Area champion. And I stopped him in the 5th round. Stopped him in the 5th round. That was actually James, right? So after that fight, in boxing. And then by the way, you see James, he company for some time, out on the street of clubs and like that. And you couldn't meet a nicer guy. It's such a gentle guy. Fantastic guy, and it was all the tragic thing that happened to him. Oh, but yeah, James, I remember. I thought James over in, I think it was over in, was it East London, something. It wasn't the York Hall, but it was in a place in East London. But I remember around. Yeah.
Hey, all right, guys. Remember, hit that like button, smash that like button. We'll move on to another question. Hey, Rob Cass says he remembers a ring walk. He remembers it really well.
Which one?
Ring walk, Friday feeling.
Friday feeling. Hold on. Friday feeling. No, you know, well, my friend, for the Tyson fight, I had a friend of mine, Nicky Finn, who was a well-renowned DJ. He got the guy to mix the song Bo Selector. Right, he got those guys to remix that tune for the Tyson fight. But I used to really come in. I used to like. I've always liked hip hop music. So sometimes I got 5 on it. If you remember that.
The Loonies.
Yeah, the Loonies. Yeah.
The Loonies. Yeah.
Because I always wanted to come in and finish a fight. Try and finish a fight in 5 rounds. Or there's a few others. And my trainer Mark, he always used to, when we was training in the gym, there was another tune Funky Like a Train. And it's I don't know, I can't remember that but it's another music I like. I used to train to. Yeah. Mark used to call me a friend. He said I had to be like a friend. So
all right. Okay, so another question is, were there any other weight classes that you would have considered fighting under? What was physically possible?
Well, it's not what was physically possible. My favorite fighter was always Marvin Hagler. Before I boxed, it was Marvin Hagler. So if I could have chosen a weight, I would have wanted to be a because yeah, that would have been something else. Because and I always said that because there was more competition, maybe at that time that weight, you know. So middleweight would have been middleweight and supermiddle. I would have loved to have fought those weights, but I don't think I was I never saw a super middleweight. That kind of long past me when I was about 13. I think. Yeah, that was it.
Just the current modern day. Who are the fighters that at heavyweight, your old weight class, that are fighters that you admire, that you really rate? That's a question for me.
Fighters I admire. Well,
modern day.
Dillian White. I like his attitude. I like the way he goes. It's very unfortunate he lost a couple of weeks back, and I was kind of that was kind of a bit of a shock to me. I would have loved to have tested myself against the likes of Fury, Joshua, what's his name, Derek Chisholm. All them kind of fighters, those guys that really got me going, especially on the British, you know. Yeah, they I would love to have been able to test myself against those guys. You know, I learned a lot. I learned a hell of a lot very early in my career. I was very lucky, I think. Um, just before I turned pro, I got to spar with Frank Lino. That was a fantastic experience. Then, just after I turned pro, I went away camp with Leonard Lewis. So I worked with Lennox was at that time he was already world champion. So going very early in my career to a training camp, working with the world champion, sparring with the world champion, sparring with his guys, and learning from the guys over the tape. It was actually it was good. Yeah, it was good, and I learned a lot, and I would have loved to test myself against the likes of the fighters that are around. Because dare I say, it would give me pleasure to beat them. You know, I think my style. They would have been very, very surprised what I would have done to them.
So, obviously, if you go through some of the fighters right now, who would you say straight up? I would have beaten him, no problem. I would have knocked him out. I would have stopped him.
This might be controversial.
I love smoke, man. I'm just yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah.
I've said this a long time ago. I would have loved to have fought Joshua. Andy Joshua, I think I would have beaten him. Derek Chisora would have been that's another kind of Danny Williams fight. Dare I say, I used to go to the gym and school Julian.
Wow. Okay.
And work when I used to work with him. I used to have fun with those guys. You know, Tyson Fury in his early days, I saw all these different forms, and obviously he's grown into that guy. He's that, and the same Josh. That well, all those guys I talked about have proved themselves on the world level. You know, becoming world champions, becoming and proving their worth. And it's I don't want to blow my trumpet and all this, but I would have had fun with them. I would have had fun with those.
Wow, okay. So you said you would have had fun with them.
Yeah.
Which one definitively would you say that I just would have knocked him out straight? Would have been straight knockout, done early?
It could have been any one of them. Because I think for myself, people underestimate, and even I did myself, underestimate my punching power. I underestimated him myself. But, and not necessarily even over about 50 fights. I only had a relatively small number of but I could box and I could fight, and I didn't mind getting into practice. And when you go into the trenches, when you go deep, that's when you find out about yourself and about your opponent. You know, and that's I used to love doing that, inspired and in fighting. And when I was actually having a bout, you know?
Domestically at heavyweight, who are some of the fighters that you rate right now domestically, current?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. The only guys I've really known, because all right, then sorry. Let me rewind a little bit. You've got the current crop of the top four, say, which is Tyson, Joshua, and Derek Chisora. After that, the guys that are coming up, I love watching the war. It comes from my same manner. So I always have it back. Joe Jordan is another good prospect. That clash, when that clash happened, you'd be prepared for fireworks. Because they're both fighters. I'm gonna side with Daniel because the South London Bull player. So and he's from my neck of the woods and all of that. But apart from those six top British guys, I don't see there's not a great deal coming that I've seen that's coming through from me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking at Daniel Dubois as the next generation's leader. You know, when
Yes, I think,
current elite have packed it in.
there is another guy over in America that I've looked at as well. That, what's the name? If he had Jagba,
Sorry? Oh yeah, the Nigerian. Yeah, heavyweight. Yeah,
right, the Nigerian.
top rank. Signed to top rank. Yeah.
So he reminds me very much of a Wilder.
Mhm.
He's got great fast hands. He's been trouble a couple of times, but he's always been able to pull through. And I think in a year, maybe 2 years time, Daniel Dubois and Jagba, as long as Dubois is doing what he's continuing doing what he's doing, it will be great to see next year, 2021, 2022, Dubois coming through, fighting the likes of Joshua and Dillian White and Tyson Fury. Because I think if those guys are still going to be around in the next year or 2 years, by that time, Dubois is going to have established himself really, really on the world stage. Because you can't, at the moment, he's young and he's not necessarily still young. He's made that step. He's made that step on. And I watched his last fight. He didn't have a lot in front of him to work with. And it's after the beat the layoff, he had that long layoff, and he came back and he stopped the guy in the third round or 1 or 2 rounds away. But Daniel, I need to step up the level of opponent. You need to fight maybe on the European scene and then make that step to going over to States and working with and show him what to do because I think I need to let him approve. He's one of them guys. Like, yeah, when I remember when he fought, what's his name? What was his last fight?
Nathan Gorman. Oh, what the one
Gorman. When he fought Nathan Gorman
for the British,
and there was a lot of needle between the two of them. Mm-hmm. And the thing I saw about the ball, you could see in his eyes, he don't get intimidated, don't get scared. If he gets hit, he'll come back at you and he'll come back at you even after. I see it in his eyes. And plus as well, Daniel Dubois is St. Lucian as well. So he's our St. Lucian. So, yeah, I'm half St. Lucian. So, yeah, so there's an affinity there.
Before we get to the questions, how would you rate his chances against Dillian White? Because Frank Warren fancies Daniel Dubois heavily against Dillian White. What would you say would happen if those two fought?
I wouldn't take the fight. If I was Dillian, I wouldn't take the fight. Not after what's happened with him and Povetkin. I think he has to go get the Povetkin fight back in order, and then look to progress from there. Yeah, I don't think that's a good fight. Because it's not a good fight.
Wow.
And I like it. Okay. I like Dillian a lot. I got a lot of time.
All right. What do you think of Mike Tyson's comeback. I think we've talked about it, but for the sake of the viewers.
Yeah, we've spoken about it now. Look, we spoke about it a couple months back, and I said to you, I didn't think it was a good thing because two older guys in their 50s who have been Mike Tyson hasn't boxed really since for 15 years, basically. He's a smoker. I'm not going to say that every lifestyle is. But then, yes, he can get himself fit, and so can Roy Jones. But Roy Jones is naturally a smaller guy. So Roy, I've been watching, I was taking time and watching the build up because it was meant to be. And then Roy was saying, well, if Tyson's going to hit me hard, I've got to get him twice as hard to make my punch. Tyson in his head is going to say, hold on, you're trying to take me out. So then it's going to come into a big fight, and into a proper fight. If Tyson beats up on Roy Jones, then Tyson's the bully. If Roy Jones beats Tyson, obviously people are going to say, well, Tyson's completely off. And they're both proud men. It can go all these different ways and places. And now, because the fight was or postponed, whatever, Roy Jones was saying that he wanted to sue Tyson's people. So there's that need. That's why these things are not. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And
No
again,
good,
I said to you that as you get older in the boxing game, and your head, you take punches in the head, the body doesn't react like it does or like it did when it was 20 or 30, even 40, as we saw with Povetkin. When you're in your 50s, 50, and they're not young 50s, 52, 53, 55. Them punches are going to do a lot more damage, and it becomes more dangerous. So, and then there's these people saying, "Oh, Tyson making a comeback," and it's bravado and the whole thing of him wanting to regain that heavyweight title. Getting him with Tyson got him with the likes of Joshua or Dillian White or Deontay Wilder, they could actually get down to murder because it's not like it is at these ages, at our age. Them punches are a lot more different. And yes, Tyson can be good. And I praise him for getting himself into fantastic shape. But there's been in good shape, and then there's been in fighting fit, fighting shape. Two different things completely.
All right. A question from TPIR. Julius, which heavyweight in history is best suited to beat Tyson Fury? Would it be Mike Tyson or Ali? Would they be too small?
You know what? Tyson wouldn't have been too small. Mike Tyson would have been too small because we all know that he could out jab guard at 6'7". And if you're talking about life and in their prime, who could have beaten Mike Tyson in his prime? Like in the 80s when he was there. There weren't many at all that you would have said. And then with Ali was a class of wherever else is there now. Because you've got to remember, the likes of, say, a Floyd Mayweather or Roy Jones, they learned from those guys back in the day. Sugar Ray Robinson taught, well, didn't teach Ali, but Ali looked at Sugar Ray Robinson and looked at how he moved, and how he conducted himself. And Ali took those points from those type of fighters and brought it up to his era. And then Roy Jones took from Ali. And, Floyd Mayweather took from the likes of those guys. So it's each one touched him. But I think Ali would have been that smart to beat the guys of today, the likes of Tyson Fury. And because the thing with Ali, he didn't mind being in the ring with big punches because he could take one. And it was quite funny that he wasn't a giant guy, but he didn't have really big hands, but he stayed fit, you know? So when I look at the old time fighters, and watch them, and I think to myself, there's a lot of them old time fighters in their prime would have been champions today easily. You know?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Which one of the current elite fighters do you think is the easiest pickings for the old school fighters?
Wow, you know, I don't want to disrespect any of the champions, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But if I'm going I had fighters like John Lyle, who was a giant man who could box. Ken Norton was a monster at kind of 15 and a half stone. He was like carved out of granite. And look at even Larry Holmes or even you go into, I like to say, what's his bloody name? Joe Louis. You know, the way that those guys punished and hit and were fearless to come, and if you could go back in a time machine and bring those guys back to this era, take that guys back, how would they feel? You know, it would be amazing to see. It would be amazing to see. But I don't know. I love the old style fighters because they just fought and didn't say, oh well, I've got a bloody nose, I've got a cut eye. You know, there's fighters that fought with ripped up noses up, and their eyes were coming out the head, and they were still going on. Look at Jake LaMotta. Jake LaMotta, you had to lay him down. He was one of the last. But you had to practice nail him to the canvas to stop him getting up his ball. You know? Nowadays, sometimes I think some of the fighters, and they got a bloody nose, or their eyes are a little bit blue. They say to yourself, I can't fight no more. Come on. It's not about look. If you're in the boxing game, it's not about look. Even though it's not about look.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Julius, it's we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
That's the viewers for locking in, and hopefully we can do this again, man. Hopefully we can do it again.
I hope so. I've got to try and sort out this internet thing, so I ain't getting the feedback. But I enjoy it. But thanks.
It's been brilliant, man. Thanks for your time. Thanks for logging in.
No problem.
Pet Talk. Make sure you subscribe. Julius Francis was in the building.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks. Take care.